It was like getting traded to Siberia. That's how Walt Clyde Frazier described the shocking moment the Knicks sent him away. Flashy suits, Rolls-Royce, 2 NBA titles. But in 1977, the betrayal came fast. And what followed? A voice that wouldn't go quiet. Let's talk about Clyde, the legend before the fall. Walt Frazier wasn't just a basketball player. He was a cultural force. The man led the New York Knicks to their only 2 NBA championships in 1970 and 1973. He was a Hall of Fame point guard who could do it all. Defense, offense, leadership. Clyde was the heart of those Knicks teams. But what made him special went beyond basketball. His nickname Clyde came from teammate Nate Bowman. Frazier wore wide-brimmed hats that looked just like the ones Warren Beatty wore in the movie Bonnie and Clyde. The hat became his signature. It set him apart from every other player in the league. When this Atlanta boy arrived in New York in 1967, he took the social scene by storm. Frazier drove a Rolls-Royce with WCF vanity plates. He wore mink fur coats that reached his knees. His custom suits used exotic skins like stingray and alligator. He spent half his rookie salary on clothes. That was $10,000 just on fashion. The man loved colors and different color combinations. He wanted that nice tailored fit. Frazier worked with custom designers to create looks nobody had seen before. He emphasized the softer look of alligator belly leather. Every detail mattered to him. This was revolutionary for the 1970s. Most athletes dressed conservatively back then, but Frazier became one of the first major professional athletes to achieve widespread fame as a fashion icon. He pioneered bling in the NBA. This concept would become huge in athlete culture decades later. His style earned him features in GQ magazine. He appeared on best-dressed lists constantly. The Knicks were winning championships. New York City celebrated his unique expression. He was widely regarded as the toast of New York City. The fashion success led to business opportunities. In 1973, Puma released the Clyde sneaker line. This was one of the earliest and most significant endorsement deals for a basketball player. It set a precedent for future athlete shoe partnerships. Frazier showed how to leverage personal image for commercial gain. The Siberian Betrayal. After 10 years of glory with the Knicks, everything changed in 1977. Walt Frazier, the franchise icon who defined an era, was traded. The team sent him to the Cleveland Cavaliers in exchange for Jim Clemens, a younger player. Frazier's reaction was pure shock. He was reportedly stunned by the decision. This wasn't just any trade. This was a beloved legend being cast aside by the organization he had carried to greatness. His famous response captured the pain perfectly. It was like getting traded to Siberia. The comparison to that vast frozen Russian wasteland wasn't casual. It revealed his deep personal struggle with leaving the vibrant, high-profile environment of New York City. Frazier explained the stark contrast in media attention. In Cleveland, there was one reporter covering the team. On weekends, there was no reporter at all. This was a far cry from the constant spotlight he received in New York. For a player accustomed to being the toast of the city, this felt like professional exile. The Siberia analogy carried heavy meaning. It implied isolation, desolation, and harshness. Frazier felt displaced and professionally diminished. The comment revealed how deeply athletes can be affected when their identity becomes intertwined with a specific team and city. The trade to Cleveland unfortunately coincided with Frazier's physical decline. A series of debilitating foot injuries began plaguing him. His tenure with the Cavaliers was brief and largely unproductive. He played only 66 games across 2 injury-plagued seasons. Cleveland eventually waived him in 1979 after just 3 games in the 1979-80 season. This effectively ended his illustrious playing career. The Siberia comment wasn't just about a new city's amenities. It reflected the abrupt and disheartening end to his prime years. Despite his immense legacy and loyalty, he was traded for a younger player. This illustrated a fundamental tension in professional sports. There's an inherent conflict between a player's deep loyalty to a franchise and the team's strategic decisions. Business considerations often override personal relationships. The voice that wouldn't quit. But Walt Frazier's story didn't end in Cleveland. In 1987, he found his way back to New York as a Knicks broadcaster. This transition marked the beginning of his second act in basketball. As a color commentator, Frazier developed a unique style that fans adored. His rhyming commentary became legendary. Phrases like posting and toasting and tenacious D entered basketball vocabulary. His unique lexicon is often imitated but never duplicated. From this platform, Frazier began sharing his perspectives on basketball's evolution. As a veteran of the 1970s NBA, he had strong opinions about the modern game. He consistently argued that today's basketball is fundamentally way easier than in his playing era. His main argument centered on league expansion. When Frazier entered the NBA in 1967, there were only 12 teams. This meant teams played each other far more frequently, sometimes 10 or 11 times a season. This constant repetition fostered deep familiarity among players and teams. Opponents knew each other's tendencies, strengths, and weaknesses intimately. Frazier described this knowledge vividly. If you blink your eye, they know whether it's real or not. They know you're shocked. They know everything about you. This intimate knowledge made the game much more difficult than playing 30 teams. With today's structure of 30 teams across 2 conferences, players lack this deep familiarity. Eastern Conference teams might face their counterparts only twice a season. This reduced familiarity allows players to escape accountability through geography alone. The game becomes less about rivalry and more about highlight packages. Frazier acknowledged that modern players are more talented in terms of raw athleticism, speed, and strength. However, he argued they are not as versatile because today everybody is a specialist. He lamented that they took away the versatility of the players. They didn't want you to do more than one thing. This contrasted sharply with his own playing style. As a point guard, he was expected to be a floor general, defensive anchor, and often the top scorer. His performance in the 1973 finals exemplified this versatility. He averaged 16.6 points and 5.2 assists while effectively guarding Jerry West. This two-way dominance was expected of players in his era. Frazier attributed increasing specialization to the increasing influence of analytics. This led to a narrowing of roles. Big men now stretch the floor, often at the expense of low-post dominance. Guards are praised for specific skills rather than comprehensive games. He viewed this optimization and streamlining as a net loss. The romantic unpredictability of the past, where positions were fluid and instincts ruled, gave way to systemized production and specialized efficiency, an enduring legacy. Frazier's commentary exemplifies the classic old school versus new school debate in sports. Veterans often perceive decline in fundamental toughness, versatility, and competitive intensity. But his critiques aren't merely nostalgic musings. They're rooted in deep, experiential understanding of how structural changes directly influence player development and game dynamics. League expansion, analytics, and rule modifications all affect how basketball is played. As a longtime influential commentator for the Knicks since 1987, Frazier's opinions carry significant weight. He contributes substantially to ongoing discussions about the sport's evolution. His views often spark debate and prompt reflection among fans and analysts. This continuous public platform allows him to do more than describe games. He actively shapes public discourse and offers counter-narratives to unquestioning celebration of modern basketball. He embodies the old head perspective, acting as a guardian of traditional basketball values. Walt Clyde Frazier's legacy extends far beyond his Hall of Fame playing career. His pioneering fashion sense set crucial precedents for athlete branding and personal expression. The Siberia trade served as a poignant reminder of professional sports' harsh business realities. As a commentator, he seamlessly transitioned from player to respected cultural critic. Through his platform, he continues offering invaluable old-school perspectives on basketball's evolution. He challenges contemporary norms while advocating for enduring values of versatility, competitive intimacy, and raw passion. His voice remains a vital part of the NBA narrative. Walt Frazier continues being a vibrant, influential figure in the sports landscape. His contributions as a player, groundbreaking impact as a fashion icon, and insightful commentary continue shaping basketball's narrative. The man they call Clyde proved that style makes you a star, but substance makes you timeless. From Siberian exile to broadcast booth royalty, his journey shows that true legends find ways to stay relevant. The voice that emerged from Betrayal became basketball's conscience.